Most of us just want our car to connect instantly and work without drama. But when we try to connect your Apple CarPlay or Android Auto with a car, the tangling wires make us lose our mind. So, we decided to rely on third-party wireless CarPlay adapters. Got a bunch of them to check which works the best, and today, we'll share our experience with one of the most popular, the Ottocast Mini 2-in-1. We've been using it long enough now to see how it performs day after day, especially during those rushed mornings. So, let's get started. Alright, so first off, let's unbox it. The Ottocast Mini comes in this compact, well-organized box with a clean design. Inside, we found the adapter itself, and we found two USB adapters. So, one USB-A adapter, in case your head unit has any weird angle, and the other one is a USB-A to C adapter. Then, there's this user manual, which is pretty simple for anyone to understand. We've to say, the packaging is neat, and it's basically focused on functionality, which we really appreciate. Now, holding the Ottocast Mini, it feels light, of course, doesn't give off any cheap feeling. The body itself is thin, with a rounded front, and the matte black finish is sleek, without attracting fingerprints. We liked how compact it is. It's just the size of our thumb. Here, a little button on the top, as you can see, and its matte black finish is sleek. But with a smooth body, which can feel a bit slippery, so it would be better if it had a little bit of grip, but that's not a deal breaker at all. We can see this small button, and pressing it basically lets us start off the current phone and switch to another one. It's actually a pretty handy idea, especially on something this tiny. We don't usually see proper multi-device switching on adapters in this size range, so we're curious to see how well the Ottocast handles that in real use. We'll need a bit more time with it to see how smooth that switching actually is. But the only thing is, depending on how your car's USB port is positioned, reaching that button might feel a little awkward if you plan on pressing it often. Using the included USB-C adapter makes it easier though, since you can rotate it and get better access. Testing this wireless Apple CarPlay was actually quite impressive. When we plugged the Ottocast Mini into the USB port for CarPlay, the first thing we noticed was how fast it booted. In just over a few seconds, the boot menu popped up. That's really quick. Now, as you can see, the screen shows a simple launcher with the Bluetooth profile and firmware version. Booting fully into Apple CarPlay took around 10 seconds, which we'd say is right in the middle of average compared to other adapters we've tested. Once in CarPlay, though, everything felt snappy. Display and touch responsiveness were quite quick, probably thanks to the Gen 4 Wi-Fi setup. So scrolling, tapping apps, or switching between screens feels very natural. We tried Apple Maps next, and the GPS pass-through worked fine, though we had to switch between Mode 1 and Default to get it running perfectly. Navigation shows on the instrument cluster, even if it doesn't do a full heads-up display, which is enough for daily use. Audio playback worked well, though there was a very slight delay, which we should keep in mind when using any wireless device. Audio performance is generally good. Music playback is clear and rich, but just like before, we did notice a tiny bit of a delay. It's not huge, barely noticeable unless you're really paying attention. Next, we disconnected CarPlay on our iPhone to check how it works on Android Auto. Right away, the Android Auto profile popped up as ready to connect. At first, it didn't pair immediately, which was a bit annoying, but after tapping Connect, it linked to the smart box, and we were in. Once inside Android Auto, the screen quality is close to what we'd expect from native CarPlay, which we were happy with. Maps work well, and guidance appears properly on the car display. Audio playback sounded good too, and responsiveness was fast. Even better than CarPlay in some cases. One thing we checked was the little button on the adapter. Pressing it reboots the device and it reconnects to the last connected phone. But here's the thing, it's not really a switch button. If you want to connect another device, you have to turn Bluetooth off on the first one, which feels a bit clunky. It works, but it takes about 15 to 30 seconds. We think it could be better. Overall, Android Auto works well, the visuals and sound are solid, but switching between devices could definitely be smoother. It's functional, but a little more polish would make it feel perfect. Now, about how it performs overall. During extended driving sessions, we kept an eye on the adapter's temperature. What we found was reassuring. The Ottocast Mini stayed cool throughout the drive, never getting hot to the touch. This is good news because some adapters tend to heat up and potentially throttle performance or cause safety concerns. So where does this leave us? Well, in our practical use, the Ottocast Mini 2-in-1 wireless car adapter turned out to be a solid plug-and-play upgrade. And we liked its compact and subtle design, sturdy build, and straightforward usability. That said, what it does reliably. Android Auto and CarPlay both work well, and audio and calls are solid. Our main wish would be a smarter switching button so it's easier to move between devices, and a slightly better IP config menu to tweak things like media delay. So, for those wanting to add wireless smartphone integration to their car without expensive head unit upgrades, this adapter can be a convenient and reliable choice based on what we experienced. So, what's your take on this? If you're already using this, tell us how it's been working out. And if you're thinking of grabbing one, honestly, you can go for it. Until next time.